Katherine Marie Heigl, born November 24, 1978, is a former fashion model and actress from the United States. She began her modeling career with Wilhelmina Models before transitioning to acting, making her film debut in That Night, 1992, and later featured in My Father the Hero, 1994, and Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, 1996. 1995. Heigl went on to play Isabel Evans on the WB television series Roswell, 1999–2002, for which she got Saturn and Teen Choice Award nominations. From 2005 until 2010, Heigl portrayed Izzy Stevens on the ABC television medical drama Grey's Anatomy, a role that earned her fame and awards, including the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 2007. She starred in the films Knocked Up, 2007, 27 Dresses, 2008, The Ugly Truth, 2009, Killers, 2010, Life as We Know It, 2010, New Year's Eve, 2011, The Big Wedding, 2013, and Unforgettable, 2014. 2017. Heigl has also appeared in a number of limited-release films, including Jackie and Ryan, 2014, Home Sweet Hell, 2015, and Jenny's Wedding, 2016. 2015. She also starred as the lead in the short-lived NBC television series State of Affairs from 2014 to 2015, and she provided the voice for the animated films The Nut Job, 2014, and its 2017 sequel. Heigl starred in the final 2 seasons of the USA Network series Suits, 2018–2019, and is currently starring in the Netflix series Firefly Lane, 2021. Heigl has also established herself as a cover model, having appeared in magazines such as Maxim, Vanity Fair, and Cosmopolitan. Katherine Heigl early life. Heigl was born in Columbia Hospital for Women in Washington, D.C. Nancy, née Engelhart, a personal manager, and Paul Heigl, a financial professional and accountant, are her parents. Her father is of German, including Swiss German, descent, and her mother is also of German origin. Heigl grew up in Northern Virginia and then Denver before her family relocated to New Canaan, Connecticut, when she was 5 years old, and where she spent the rest of her life. Jason, her elder brother, died in a car accident in 1986 after being catapulted from the back of a pickup truck while out for lunch with some of his high school classmates. Her Lutheran mother and Catholic father converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints after her brother died, and Heigl, aged 8, was raised in that faith. Katherine Heigl career. 1992–1998. Early work. Her aunt, along with her parents, sent images of Heigl to a modeling agency when she was 9 years old. She was signed as a child model with Wilhelmina Models after a few weeks. Soon after signing with the agency, a client chose her for a magazine commercial in which she made her modeling debut. Heigl was earning $75 an hour modeling for Sears and Lord & Taylor catalogs at the time. Heigl initially appeared in a national television commercial for Cheerios cereal. Heigl began acting classes and made her feature film debut in That Night, 1992. She starred as Christina Sebastian in Steven Soderbergh's Depression-era film King of the Hill before landing her first big part in My Father the Hero, a 1994 comedy. Heigl continued to attend New Canaan High School during this period, juggling her film and modeling job with her scholastic studies. After her sophomore year, Heigl dropped out of New Canaan High School to seek a career in Hollywood. She appeared in Steven Seagal's action movie Under Siege 2, Dark Territory in 1995. Heigl portrayed a 16-year-old girl traveling by train through the mountains with her uncle Casey Ryback, Seagal, an ex-SEAL counter-terrorist expert. The train is seized in Colorado by mercenaries who hold Heigl's character prisoner. She had a lot of screen time with Morris Chestnut, Sandra Taylor, and Everett McGill. Despite her increased focus on acting, Heigl continued to model extensively, with regular appearances in magazines such as 17. In 1996, she co-starred alongside Danielle Harris in Disney's made-for-television film Wish Upon a Star, in which she played two body-swapping characters. Heigl's parents split that year, and her mother was diagnosed with cancer. Heigl moved into a 4-bedroom mansion in Malibu Canyon, California, with her mother, who also became her manager, after graduating from high school in 1997. She co-starred alongside Peter Fonda in The Tempest, a television production of William Shakespeare's play of the same name, in 1998. The film's setting was changed to Mississippi, and it takes place during the Civil War. She also appeared in Bride of Chucky, a horror film. 1999 to 2004, Roswell and television movies. Heigl made the transition to television in 1999, when she was cast as Isabel Evans in the science fiction TV drama Roswell, a role that was expanded in the show's second and third seasons. Before being hired as Isabel, an alien-human hybrid, Heigl auditioned for all 3 of the show's female stars, the other 2 roles subsequently going to Shiri Appleby and Mahendra Delfino. Heigl was frequently photographed for photo essays in magazines such as Life, TV Guide, Teen, and FHM. She was included in the FHM and Maxim calendars, as well as FHM's annual 100 Sexiest Women in the World issue and the Girls of Maxim Gallery. In May 2006, Maxim magazine ranked her number 12 on their annual Hot 100 list, and FHM magazine readers voted her the 19th sexiest woman in the world. Heigl worked on various films while Roswell was in production, including 100 Girls, an indie 2001 picture, and Valentine, a horror film starring David Boreanaz and Denise Richards. In the spring of 2001, Heigl accepted a role in Ground Zero, a television thriller set to air that fall and based on the best-selling James Mills novel The Seventh Power. She co-starred as a clever and politically conscious college student who contributes to the construction of a nuclear device to demonstrate the need for a shift in national priorities. Following a betrayal by a fellow student, the device winds up in the hands of a terrorist. However, following the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, the film was postponed because its narrative was deemed inappropriate. It was released under the title Critical Assembly in 2003. Heigl made a public service ad for the American Red Cross following the 9/11 attacks to help raise funds for victims. In 2003, Heigl appeared in 3 television movies, including the horror genre Evil Never Dies, a modern-day variation on the Frankenstein story co-starring Thomas Gibson, and Hallmark Entertainment's Love Comes Softly as Marty Claridge, a young, newlywed traveling west, which she reprised the following year in the sequel Love's Enduring Promise. In MTV's modern retelling of Emily Brant's Wuthering Heights, Heigl portrayed Isabella Linton. Heigl was cast opposite Johnny Knoxville in The Ringer, a Farrelly Brothers comedy that was released in December 2005, in October 2003. Heigl played Romy in Romy and Michelle, in the Beginning, a 2005 television film that was a prequel to the 1997 film Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. 2005 to 2010, Grey's Anatomy and Breakthrough. In 2005, Heigl was cast in her most high-profile role to date, as medical intern Dr. Isabel, Izzy, Stevens on Grey's Anatomy, an ABC medical drama. The show, which began as a mid-season replacement, went on to become a great ratings hit and one of the highest-rated series on broadcast television. The same year, Heigl was cast as the lead in the independent film Side Effects, 2005, a romantic comedy about marketing and the pharmaceutical industry for which she also served as executive producer. Heigl was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress, Series, Miniseries, or Television Film for her role on Grey's Anatomy a year later. Heigl also appeared in Zizek's Road, which was shot in 2004 but wasn't released until 2006. It was the lowest-grossing feature picture of all time. Knocked Up, 2007, a comedy directed by Judd Apatow and starring Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, and Apatow's real-life wife, Leslie Mann, was Heigl's high-profile film debut in 2007. The film earned generally excellent reviews from reviewers upon its theatrical release in June 2007, and it went on to become a box office blockbuster and a summer rom-com hit. Following the popularity of the picture, Heigl's fees skyrocketed. The film grossed $148,761,765 in the United States, and she was paid $300,000 for it. According to Vanity Fair, Heigl's participation in the film catapulted her to the status of Hollywood's new "it girl." Heigl won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series for her portrayal as Izzy Stevens on Grey's Anatomy on September 16, 2007. Even her mother, she remarked in her winning speech, didn't think she'd win. Her shout of "shit" had to be censored when her name was called for the award. Heigl won $6 million for her role in the film 27 Dresses, which she co-starred in alongside James Marsden. The New York Post expressed dissatisfaction with the mismatch between Heigl's skills and the film's chick flick triviality, suggesting Heigl would be better suited to female directors such as Kimberly Pierce, Boys Don't Cry, or Tamara Jenkins, The Savages. According to AskMen.com, Heigl was named the most desirable woman of 2008. The director of 27 Dresses, Anne Fletcher, praised her as possessing the "it" factor. She went on to say, "You can't purchase it, you can't learn it, you can't make it, it just is. We haven't had one of her in a long time." For a long time, Julia Roberts, Sandra Bullock, and Meg Ryan have been our go-to girls for romantic comedies, but there hasn't been a new one. Katie possesses beauty, vulnerability, and recognizability. She's amusing, personable, and a joy to see. Her tiniest eye movement is enthralling. You instantly know what's going on. In a well-publicized Vanity Fair interview, Heigl revealed that, though she enjoyed working with Apatow and Rogen on Knocked Up, she didn't appreciate the picture itself. She referred to the film as a touch sexist, arguing that it presents the women as shrews, as humorless and rigid, and it paints the males as charming, hilarious, fun-loving guys. Apatow and Rogen were believed to be dissatisfied with Heigl's interview, with Rogen stating that he enjoyed working with Heigl and was hurt by her words. Heigl's remarks sparked great outrage in the media. In an interview with People, Heigl stated, "My motive was to encourage other women like myself to not take that element of the movie too seriously, and to remember that it's a broad comedy," and added, "Although I stand behind my opinion, I'm disheartened that it has become the focus of my experience with the movie." Some speculated that Heigl might leave Grey's Anatomy at the end of the 2008-2009 season. Her unwillingness to submit her name for Emmy consideration for the previous season fueled this idea. In the fourth season, Heigl expressed dissatisfaction with the character's direction, calling the storyline involving Izzy's affair with George a ratings ploy that served to be shocking, and others speculated she would leave due to the time commitment required to produce a film adaptation of Carolyn Jessup's novel Escape. Heigl openly stated that she had dropped out of the Emmy race that year because she felt the material she had received did not merit Emmy consideration. The remarks apparently enraged the show's producers and writers, who mistook it for a dig at their work. Shonda Rhimes, the showrunner of Grey's Anatomy, claimed she was not offended by Heigl's Emmy withdrawal and highlighted that Heigl's character was minimized during the season because Heigl requested a lighter work schedule. Despite Heigl's stated dissatisfaction with the previous season and persistent reports that her character had killed, ABC stated that she would return for Grey's Anatomy's sixth season. Heigl co-starred in The Ugly Truth alongside Gerard Butler, 2009. Formalized paraphrase: the film cost $38 million to make and grossed $205 million at the box office worldwide. Throughout most of season 6, there was speculation over whether Heigl might depart Grey's Anatomy. Heigl apparently did to show up for work on the show on March 11, 2010, and Heigl and series creator Shonda Rhimes later agreed to immediately dismiss Heigl from her contract. As a result, Heigl's appearance on Grey's Anatomy on January 21 marked her final appearance of the season and, thus far, on the series. Heigl stated that she left the show to focus on her family rather than her film career. However, the criticism from Heigl's statements on Knocked Up and Grey's Anatomy has left her with a reputation of being difficult to deal with, which has harmed her career. 2010-13. Further rom-com roles. Heigl co-starred in the Lionsgate comedy thriller Killers with Ashton Kutcher in June 2010. She then acted in and produced Greg Berlanti's big-screen thriller Life as We Know It, about a woman and a man whose best friends are killed in a car accident. Following their friends' deaths, they begin to assist in the care of their late friend's orphaned daughter. Heigl received a total of $12 million for both projects. Gary Marshall directed Heigl in the ensemble romantic comedy New Year's Eve in 2011. Despite its monetary success, nearly $142 million worldwide, the picture garnered mostly poor reviews. Heigl went on to play the lead in One for the Money, 2012. Stephanie Plum, a bounty hunter working for a bonding firm, plays the lead role in the film, which is based on a series of novels by Janet Ivanovich. The picture was a financial flop, generating just over $36 million worldwide against a $40 million production budget. Heigl was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress for her performance. In January 2012, Heigl expressed her eagerness to return to Grey's Anatomy and complete Izzy's storyline, seeing her triumph in another hospital after faltering in the fictional Seattle Grace Hospital where she was one step behind the 8 ball. She said that she regretted leaving the show. She expressed remorse for leaving the program and praised the cast's fantastic work atmosphere and family dynamic, but she also remarked, "I absolutely understand if it does not always work. They have a lot of narratives going on." In 2013, she co-starred in The Big Wedding, a comedy about an estranged family reconciling for a wedding, opposite Robert De Niro, Diane Keaton, and Susan Sarandon. The film received a very bad critical and commercial reception upon its release. It has a 7% rating on film review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes and only made $7.5 million in its opening weekend, and Heigl was nominated for Worst Supporting Actress at the 34th Golden Raspberry Awards for her role. She began appearing in a television advertisement for Vicks ZzzQuil in June 2013. 2014-present. Departure from rom-coms and television resurgence. In 2014, Heigl told Marie Claire magazine that though she loves romantic comedies and is so excited to be doing them, she struck it a little too hard, confessing, "I couldn't say no. There's nothing wrong with them. Nonetheless, I may have overloaded my viewers. I should have made a superhero or psychological thriller." During this time, Heigl branched out from traditional rom-com roles, pursuing romantic dramas, doing voiceover work, dark comedy, and returning to dramatic television. Heigl appeared in the romantic drama Jackie and Ryan, 2014, co-starring with Ben Barnes, as a recent single mother fighting to keep her daughter and the love interest of a modern-day train hopper. In the United States, Entertainment One released the film in limited release and via video on demand. She also provided the voice of the squirrel Andy in the animated picture The Nut Job, which premiered on January 17, 2014. She reprised her role in The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, which was released in theaters on August 11, 2017. She then acted in the dark comedy Home Sweet Hell, 2015, starring Patrick Wilson and Jordana Brewster, as a spurned and jealous housewife. The film received mostly unfavorable reviews after it was released on VOD and had a limited theatrical run in North America. In its verdict, Variety stated, "Given how frequently Heigl has been chastised for not being another docile, eager to please female celebrity, it's difficult not to suspect that she might have relished the chance to play an unapologetic ball-busting shrew, a grotesquely exaggerated version of a stereotype she's been assigned many times over. Indeed, Heigl's portrayal of a coolly deadly model housewife is the only true reason to see Home Sweet Hell, an otherwise floundering and risible story of infidelity, extortion, and suburban ennui that resembles a poor woman's Gone Girl. She was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. In 2015, Heigl played the title character in the independent film Jenny's Wedding, about a woman who finally wishes to marry, but her choice of partner shatters her traditional family. An Indiegogo campaign was eventually created to help generate funds for post-production expenditures, and the film was distributed for VOD and restricted release in selected parts of the United States exclusively, like with Heigl's past few productions. In the sensual thriller Unforgettable, 2017, she co-starred with Rosario Dawson and Jeff Stoltz as a divorcee who begins to torture her ex-new husband's fiancé. Her first wide release in 3 years, the picture received dismal reviews and grossed a meager $4.7 million United States dollars in its opening weekend. Nonetheless, Heigl tries overtime to humanize the bitter mom. Her face is like an old-fashioned cash register with the prices flashing up, but she's more entertaining to watch as the story grows ugly and violent, and she unleashes the devil within, according to the Globe and Mail. Heigl's major roles in the NBC political drama series State of Affairs, 2014-15, and the CBS legal drama Doubt, 2017-18, were both cancelled after 1 season. Unlike State of Affairs, however, Doubt launched to tepid ratings, according to The Hollywood Reporter, and CBS announced its termination after only 2 episodes, later burning out its episodes. Fear of Rain, previously titled I Saw a Man with Yellow Eyes, a psychological thriller written and directed by Castile Landon, was announced in April 2019. The cast is completed by Harry Connick Jr., Madison Iseman, and Israel Broussard. Heigl returned to form when she was cast as Samantha Wheeler, a new partner at the fictional law firm of Zane Specter Litt, in the USA Network legal drama series Suits. Heigl was a successful cast member of the show's final 2 seasons. She was later cast as the lead in Netflix's Firefly Lane, alongside Sarah Chalke and Ben Lawson, which premiered in 2021. Katherine Heigl will appear in and executive produce the short series Woodhull, which will premiere in December 2020. She is set to play Victoria Woodhull, the first female candidate for the President of the United States. In a January 2021 interview with The Washington Post, Heigl stated that her statements on the entertainment world may have harmed her career. Katherine Heigl personal life. Heigl married singer Josh Kelly in June 2006, whom she met a year earlier on the set of his music video for Only You. They decided not to live together before marriage, with Heigl later noting, "I believe I just wanted to save something for the actual marriage. I wanted there to be something to make the actual marriage distinct than the courting or the wooing." On December 23, 2007, they married in Park City, Utah. In September 2009, the couple adopted a daughter from South Korea, where Heigl's sister Meg was born. She was born with a cardiac abnormality and had open heart surgery prior to leaving Korea. Kelly and Heigl adopted a second daughter from the United States in April 2012. The couple revealed in June 2016 that they were expecting their 3rd child. On December 20, 2016, Heigl gave birth to a son. Charles Kelly, a member of the country music trio Lady A, is Heigl's brother-in-law. Charity work, charity work. Heigl has collaborated on various projects with Best Friends Animal Society, including their Pup My Ride program. The initiative transports small dogs from high-kill animal shelters to areas of the United States where there is a greater demand for such pets. She granted Best Friends a grant to cover the cost of the program for 1 year. Heigl and her mother, Nancy, founded Heigl's Hounds of Hope, which is affiliated with the Jason Debus Heigl Foundation. The foundation was established in memory of Heigl's brother, who died in a vehicle accident when he was 15 years old in 1986. Heigl's Hounds of Hope rescues larger dogs with behavioral issues from high kill shelters. It rehabilitates them through training and other modifications to make them rehomable. Heigl owns 8 dogs of her own as of 2014. The ASPCA recognized Heigl with the Presidential Service Award in 2010 for her efforts and dedication to animal protection. Heigl created the I Hate Balls campaign in 2011 to promote pet spay, neuter in order to spare the lives of millions of companion animals. A public service announcement starring Heigl and created by Funny or Die is part of the program. She signed a letter to Utah legislators in 2012 on behalf of PETA, encouraging them to oppose a bill that would make undercover recording in factory farms a crime. In the same year, Heigl was recognized by the Congressional Coalition on Adoption Institute, CCAI, for her dedication and commitment to adoption, as well as by the American Cancer Society for her work in raising awareness of cancer-related issues through her public support of her mother's battle with the disease. Heigl is an outspoken advocate for organ donation, serving as a spokesperson for Donate Life America. After her brother Jason died, Heigl's family decided to give Jason's organs to those in need of organ transplants. These occurrences led Heigl to become an organ donation crusader later in life.